Well, good morning, everyone, or good day, wherever you are. This is SchreckTeck, and right next to me is the perpetrator of the Schreck.
The perpetrator. And I'm so sleep deprived. I'm typing on the keyboard that's for the computer in front of me, and I meant to type into the chat room saying, Larry, do not encourage Gina's shriek to come out again ever.
No. I think she went. I think those interdimensional rifts have been sealed and shut, and that's probably
good,
it.
Good. The interdimensional rifts. I think it tore a hole in the time-space continuum.
Not to mention most people's brains, including my own.
I have to say, I really like that intro. That was pretty cool with the.
Did you get audio? Because I could not see the audio going.
Well, I don't know. I have it on. I have it muted.
It has audio, but for some odd reason, it didn't seem to. At least I wasn't seeing the. Actually, Larry, did you hear any audio on that intro?
Oh, Don says no audio.
No audio. Okay, well that's really odd because it has audio.
See, had I known, I would have been singing along or something.
I wonder what happened to the audio.
Back and we'll hear a tale. Tale of a faithful. Somehow we should use that as our intro song.
All right, this is this is Gina's Island today.
Yes.
Just sit right back and you hear a tale.
Island right
a tale
now.
of a fateful show.
Yeah. I'll just admit right here, my eye is watering because I slept for 2 hours. I took a 2-hour nap. I'm under the time pressure of getting a lot of things done. I am way overscheduled, and but here I am with my extra large caffeine cup of coffee, and we're ready to go.
That's right. And by the way, if anybody thinks owning a business is fun,
yeah, it's fun.
It is fun, but you are a slave to the business. Don't ever think you're not.
Yeah, you'll never sleep.
No.
So yeah, it's been great because we took on a few new clients in the last few weeks, which has been great.
That's good.
But it's been a ton of work. But we're looking at today. We're saying, okay, what's going on in the world of social? And first thing that I have to bring to the table is the new rollout of LinkedIn. I don't know. I'm going to ask the brilliant chat room. Did anybody notice? Because I always think it's funny because I get all excited going, wow, look at this change and that change. And everyone says, oh, I didn't even know there was a change. So maybe I'm the only one that notices these things. But LinkedIn did have a pretty significant upgrade and change to the whole look of when you log into LinkedIn.
Yeah, it definitely looks different.
Oh, see, and haven't dug in. Okay, haven't used LinkedIn much, haven't dug in. Yeah, so the things that I've noticed, first of all, it is getting a little more Facebook-ish with the notifications will be similar to Facebook. But then first thing I noticed when you logged in, your profile picture is a little bit bigger. And then, although, Rick, I was telling you, every time I log into LinkedIn, it pops up a window that says, do you still work here?
Yeah, no, I don't get that. But
it starts making me paranoid, like, I don't know, do I still work here?
Do you still own your own company?
I own the business. What do you mean? Do I still? Every time when I log in, it pops up the window saying, "Do you?" It's just giving you a chance to update your profile, yes, but kind of odd. But the profile picture is bigger. Your web links they used to be kind of thrown randomly where you could connect to your blog or your website. Now those are under your contact information, which makes more sense. Other ways to contact you. So that was interesting. The notifications, I think, is probably a big thing. So just curious if anybody noticed anything else. Let's see. Dawn says, I also got a posting on Facebook last night asking you to change your privacy settings. Oh, that's interesting.
Now, I've gotten that too, and I just thought it was spam, so I ignored it.
From LinkedIn or Facebook? Dawn,
I think it was LinkedIn.
Now, see, I got that time that everything was hacked.
Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah, I got that. But, it isn't a bad idea. It is one of those things to change your passwords often, and it's hard enough because every time I go to log in, then I end up getting locked out because I can't remember them. I've got my little system, but then I change one or two and forget to change the rest. And
now, have you noticed that LinkedIn has also started advertising a lot more services?
More ads.
They're really pushing the apps. They're pushing the the sign up for the premium service, they were never very aggressive on sales and marketing. I noticed that's changed.
Right.
Now, I have a theory. It's a prediction. I may be totally wrong, and if I am, it doesn't matter because it's just a free prediction. But I suspect that either Facebook or Twitter may buy LinkedIn.
Really?
Just a prediction, because it's making sense the way everybody's buying everybody. LinkedIn's still independent. I don't know how profitable they are, but they are fairly independent. So it makes sense to be an acquisition target.
I have to say, I saw the coolest thing last night. One of our clients, Stacy Hunke, shout out to her. She's a presentation skills coach and trainer. She sent me something late last night and was saying, can we do something like this on my site? And it was using LinkedIn groups, and it was so brilliant. If you are a trainer, I'm even trying to think of ways that I could use this, but on her site, she said she wanted to create something to bring alumni together. And again, this isn't even anything really new. It was just a brilliant use of LinkedIn groups. She had showed me someone else who was doing something similar. What they had done is they created a private LinkedIn group. And it was just called, whatever, training alumni. So she would name it for her alumni group. And then she took that link and embedded it in her website and had a box saying, at the bottom, here's a group for alumni. But it looked like on her website, as soon as you clicked it, you can join the group. You ask to join the group. Or you chat with other alumni. And now I told her, I said, we need to have a meeting when I get back from Spain to really talk about how can we incorporate even the ability to share some of the, kind of take advantage of maybe allowing people in the group to share what they're learning to help market the training that she does. But it was just a really smart way of incorporating your LinkedIn groups into your website, into what looked like, you could not tell that it was a LinkedIn group from her website. It just said, are you an alumni? Join the discussion or something. And nowhere on there did you see LinkedIn, but when you hovered over it, obviously you saw the link. It was taking you to a LinkedIn group. Really smart. I think we need to look at ways to incorporate some of our social sites, especially LinkedIn groups. They're so powerful. Are we using them cross-pollinating on our website?
Yeah, and the groups are pretty important. Actually, it's interesting. Do you find that people use LinkedIn anywhere near what its capacity is? I know I don't. It seems like it's got a ton of capabilities, but most of us sign up, and that's the last time we ever look at it. There's a lot of aggregated information now. Where do you think the disconnect has been with LinkedIn, and why people don't use it like they do Facebook, for example?
Yeah. My opinion is Facebook is so personal. We're chatting with family, we're chatting with friends. LinkedIn is business. So because the population of LinkedIn is mostly business, people see it as business. So they don't log in daily because they've got work to do.
Mm-hmm.
However, I also think it has to do with the structure of LinkedIn, which is slightly changing. But when you first go onto LinkedIn to create a profile, you feel like you have to follow their format. It's like you're filling out a resume. Even if you're not looking for a job, you feel like you're filling out a resume because of the questions they're asking. And it says, you're only 44% complete. And you feel like a loser if you haven't loaded all the things LinkedIn tells you to load. So because we're looking at it as a resume online, people fill it out and then they leave it. I don't think they get the concept of you can put whatever you want on your LinkedIn. This is to sell your services or your thought leadership or your business, the services you sell as a business. So I think you're right. I just don't think we tap into, and it's like any social site, we always say this, to get the ROI, you first need the I. And I think on LinkedIn, we don't invest enough time because it is a little different than the easy post, picture of a cat. I don't have a cat, but that's my opinion. How about you? Why do you think? Why do you not?
Same reason. Same reason. There's only so much time in a day, and by the time I get to it, it's like, oh right, I'll look at that later. And I probably spend more time on Twitter, though. It's funny because there's that reciprocal effort thing or inverse value. The amount of time I spend on Twitter is directly related to how busy I am on any particular day. Yeah. And I notice when I'm really busy, I'm not on that much. And then I get tweets saying, are you okay?
I always feel bad because this weekend I got this literally like the past 5 days, I just have not been I haven't been able to be online much because I've just had lots of meetings and lots of clients set up stuff and running crazy, which is great. But I do get tweets from people saying, just checking, are you okay? And I always think, I guess that's a good thing, but it's kind of a pathetic thing that you're online so much that they finally go, wow, it's nice and quiet in here.
Well, no, the important thing is when they say, are you okay? Say, no.
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 You know, it's
But it's not as bad as it could be.
I shared a video on my Getting Geeky Facebook page about the statistics from YouTube, from kind of updated 2012 statistics, and it was just fascinating because it was talking about LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook and just the power of video and how that is, and we talked about this earlier in the year or late in last year. Predictions for this year is everything is going to be visual. The prediction was photos and video. We need more photos and video. And I think what's happening is we don't know how to read anymore. So we have to watch videos, and they have to be short, and then we can only look at pictures, and the text, if it's over 3 lines, we can't read past that. But it was amazing, the statistics on marketing dollars being spent on video and content being created using video and the power of that. So,
well, part of that problem is, and I think it has something to do with this, is when you read magazines now, the print is extremely thin, it's very light, and it's like 5-6 point type. That's why people aren't reading. I'm convinced people can't read because they can't see it. I've talked to a lot of people who say I don't read like I used to because I can't read the magazines.
Rick, that's just
now that's being over probably mid-30s to 40.
Well, Larry hit that point. Larry with his reading glasses.
Yeah.
Although right now I'm just looking at a blur page, so I have no room to talk. My Coke bottle glasses are right here.
No, actually, Gina, the page isn't blurry.
Oh, is it not? It's perfectly clear. I always say I look like a mole when I'm trying to read if I don't have my glasses. But yeah, I think that's interesting. And LinkedIn, I think, is, again, another thing that I think hinders LinkedIn. When you go look at your LinkedIn profile, it's very text heavy. So
that's true.
It feels like work. Like when you go to LinkedIn, now, if you go to the home, although still, I see most people on LinkedIn do not share pictures. They post content. A few people are smart enough to put some pictures in their post, and it at least stops your eye to see what is this post. But the rest are text. And I think it seems like work. Again, maybe that's my ADD. Yeah, it'd be interesting for everyone else to chime in on this. Yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, why do you think we don't use, because LinkedIn is such a powerful business tool. I don't know. I think it is harder. It's more work.
It's a little more work, and I noticed that Twitter is almost as good, even though it's not a business tool per se. It sure can be. Right. And you can have conversations with people you know or like very easily on Twitter, and you don't have to get out of a simple environment. And it's simple. I think, like you said, key is simple. And
it has to be simple and quick, Like, I love the ability on Facebook that you could just like something, to let somebody know, like, oh, I really like that post or that picture or whatever. And LinkedIn has that for the most part, but you'll see many updates or things that people share. There's just no pictures. There's nothing that's social about it. It's just kind of informational. It's too much. So I don't know. That's my take. But there are some new features on LinkedIn. You'll notice them when you log into LinkedIn. Spend some time looking around, and maybe this is the time to say, I'm going to invest a little bit of time. One thing this week that I've been consumed with, for a couple of our clients, they're wanting us to monitor their Yelp and TripAdvisor. For the hotels, we always monitor TripAdvisor, when somebody posts on there. But Yelp, I'm curious how many people, because it's getting bigger and bigger, how many people use Yelp as almost like a social site. It's the stuff I'm seeing on there, like people are posting daily. I guess I do that on Foursquare too. But
well, I've been reading that people are forming friendships on Yelp because they go to the same restaurants and they say, hey, why don't we meet over there?
That's interesting.
And so that's kind of an interesting thing because they both have, let's say, a good experience in a restaurant. They read each other, they make comments, and next thing you know, they'll get together and form a friendship. So that's kind of an interesting.
That is interesting. I mean, why not? Go to a dating service, dating site, and you're looking for somebody that has.
Yeah, and it may not even be dating. It's just hey, you're over there eating. My wife and I are eating. Let's get together. That kind of thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. And Yelp, it's interesting because if somebody posts, the biggest concern people have, the businesses have, is when somebody posts a negative review on Yelp, what do you do about it? And we're always about, you've got to respond within 24 hours. You've got to, as a business, post a response to a negative and a positive. I always say, not that you have to post every single comment that's made on Yelp for your business, that you have to go say something, but I think, number one, if people are posting positive things, you want to encourage that. So you want to let them know, number one, you're listening and you appreciate that feedback. So somebody's listening. Number two, if somebody posts a bad review and you don't reply, I can't tell you how many businesses I see these negative reviews and it's been 3 months. There's no reply from the business. And yesterday we had a situation with one of our clients, and they're a frozen yogurt client. And somebody posted, it wasn't even a negative review about the yogurt. As a matter of fact, they even said, the yogurt here is great. However, I came in for Grandparents' Day, and the clerk said Grandparents' Day was yesterday. So here's a customer service training opportunity. Because they were told that Grandparents' Day was not on the right day. And, I mean, bottom line is, in customer service, you say, you are a grandparent, we are honoring you. You get that 50% off your yogurt. And you make a wow experience. But they didn't, and this grandpa posted on Yelp. So grandpa was wielding his smartphone. He whips it out, and he writes this negative review. Well, we went in to post. The client asked if we could reply to the post. And what's interesting about Yelp is it gives you the opportunity to post in public or in private. And it's pretty funny because they warn you. They go, warning, before posting a reply to a negative response, read these tips. Because really what they're saying is, don't be a jerk to the person who wrote the negative review. And they give you these warnings like, you might want to take time to calm down. Don't post when you're angry. It was actually quite humorous.
Right.
But I could see where that could happen. And then even then, you had this opportunity to go public or private. So my question to everyone out here listening is, if you post a review, positive or negative, do you expect a reply from the company? I'm thinking, why else are we? Are we just posting to vent? Do you think people are posting because they expect a reply?
Yeah, I think a lot are. I probably wouldn't expect a reply if I posted something, and I would post something usually fairly polite, but
right.
And I've never posted on Yelp, though I've been thinking about it lately because there's a restaurant we like in the area, and they're fairly new, and we want to make sure they get more customers. So we're going to start posting on Yelp just to say, hey, they're good.
Yeah, people make those decisions looking at these reviews now more than ever before. Yeah. What's interesting is this customer knew about the 50% off Grandparents' Day because of Facebook. That was the only place we were running the special, is on Facebook. So ironically, the customer did not go back to Facebook to complain. The customer posted it on Yelp. Now, it could just be because this person is a Yelp user on their mobile phone. It's interesting. Yeah, see, chat room, Don is saying, I agree. If they're not monitoring and posting, I'll never use their business again. I don't expect a follow-up with positive posting on Yelp. That's interesting. I would for a negative one, and I want them to try and resolve it. If I'm posting a generalization, I wouldn't expect anything. But if I'm asking a question or pointing out a problem, I expect feedback. So here's what the client was worried about. If we posted an apology, because right away I said, we need to own up. We need to say, I am so sorry that happened. We should never, it's not our practice to, I don't know. So I worded something and sent it to her and said, here's what I would say. I'm so sorry that this mix-up took place. We honor grandparents every day. You come in anytime, and we are going to comp your yogurt. What is that, $3? But she was worried, the client was worried that then everybody else on Yelp would see that and go, oh, if I post a negative review, I'll get free stuff, which I disagree. I disagree. I think people who are using Yelp are not going, oh, I wonder if I can get free There might be a couple.
Well, I'm sure there's always someone who wants a freebie, and I think that's a bad thing for a business to do, because what happens is you're going to get more abusers than not in today's day and age. I'll give you an example. I think it was Bob's Big Boy used to be here in town, and I think every Tuesday, oh, no, it was Caro's, and every Tuesday they had something like Senior Day. There was a ton of seniors who came in, but they also had another rule that said if you're not happy with your meal, we'll give you your full money back. You would not believe how many angry seniors there were on that one day just for a free meal. And that's just so wrong. And then they got rid of it, of course. It's like...
that is really interesting, because now, so here's what I ended up doing. I said, I will handle it. And I wrote a response in public that just said, again, kind of the apology. This should not have happened. We honor our grandparents. And I will direct message you. I am sending you a private message right now. And then in the private message, I said, you come in, your name is going to be on a coupon for free yogurt. And I told the client, you better make sure your team has Grandpa Jeremy written down for treating him like royalty when he comes in, because, and I suggested a training, one of our team members to go in and do a training with them and talk about the importance of social and how everything you do will be posted somewhere.
Well, it's really interesting. When we go shopping retail, I don't do it that much, but when we do go retail shopping, I'm thanking the people for buying at their store, and they usually say something stupid like, no worries, no problem.
No problem.
And it's like, no, dude. It's a thank you back. No, thank you. My pleasure. It's like basic customer service skills. None. No and some of these are big chains.
Chick-fil-A. See, you don't have Chick-fil-A in your area, do you?
I think we do. I've never been there, but...
Oh, great chicken.
Okay.
That's all they have is chicken. So don't go there for
I think, we do have one. I think not far from us. I've just never been. I'm not a chicken lover, so it's one of those, okay.
No matter which Chick-fil-A you go to in the United States, when you go to Chick-fil-A, you will hear them say, it's my pleasure. It's part of their training. It's part of the culture. It's who they hire. It's how they train. It's how they reinforce. It is driven, drilled into them. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, and they said that's a huge differentiator in any kind of customer service. Telling somebody no problem implies that they could have been a problem.
Yeah.
And no worries mean you didn't worry me. I don't give a damn anyway. So think about it. Those are not really optimistic, positive ways to deal with issues. It's like, hey, no worries.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think it's interesting because it's hard to train that into your vocabulary unless it's reinforced, which fast food, you're dealing with, a lot of times 16, 17-year-olds.
Right.
Reinforce. See, everyone now is in the chat room. I love Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I've never been there. I got to try it one of these days. I think wife and daughter have gone there, and they said it was great.
Yeah, oh yeah, and Larry just reminded me, they're chicken minis. Oh, I had never had them, and the Schrecklet said, we need to go early one day for breakfast.
They have some sort of, I remember reading something about some sort of waffle thing. I can't remember what waffle fries, is that it? Or
waffle fries. Everything's in peanut oil. See, here I am, I'm like a walking
peanut oil.
And actually, I have a tie to Chick-fil-A. Some good friends of ours own several Chick-fil-A's, and they employed my son. His very first job when he was 14, he was the chicken breader in the back. And on his break, he would get to eat as much Chick-fil-A as he could possibly eat, which I said they're going to go broke. Teenage boys.
Yeah, you don't want to do that for a teenage boy. No.
Yeah. We laugh now because, this was, gosh.
I'll tell you, one time when I was probably about 16, 17, had a part-time job at a Wiener Schnitzel.
Oh, I remember the yellow house.
I think the most I've had was like 13 hot dogs in a 4-hour period. It was just pathetic because we were young, football players, and we just ate. You just eat, and finally, and it was owned by this really nice Korean couple, and they kept saying, maybe you do not eat so much in future. That's like, you ate 13 hot dogs.
That's funny. You were training.
I was training. Yeah.
Okay, so before we wrap, I have a couple Well, one's a website about apps, and then one is a really cool app that I found because of this website. So, you know how we always talk about there's this app, and it's a little pricey. It's $4.99 or $6.99 a year, which that's a high-priced app. Even $1.99, sometimes I'm going, I wonder if there's a free one. There is a website called appshopper.com. Did we talk about this last week?
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay. So
but very briefly.
appshopper.com, if you're looking for one of your favorite apps to be on sale, you go to appshopper.com, you fill out your profile, and then you put in the apps that you're wanting to watch. So maybe there's one that's $12, and you'll get a notification when it's on sale. Well, they also have on their main web page this really cool area that just shows you all the free apps that have been discounted to free, or they're lower price. Well, I found when I went there this app called Caption Plus, and it's for Instagram. Currently, it's only on iOS, but Caption Plus, it's basically when you open it, it looks like Instagram. You do it, but then you can type your text on. It's like the one I recommended a few weeks back called Over, and Over allows you to put text on the photo. But this one is incorporated into Instagram, shares it directly to Instagram. Love it. It's just called Caption Plus, and right now it is free. Go to your iTunes store and just type in Caption Plus. It's my favorite. Do you have any like fun apps that you've looked at this week, or?
I've downloaded. Excuse me, I've downloaded a whole mess of them, but nothing. I've been so busy, I haven't had a chance to really play with them. However, there is one that's really an app for a Mac. If you have an iMac with a webcam or something like that, it's called Webcam Settings, and it allows you to make your webcam on the iMac, for example, or even any of the MacBooks, which aren't great webcams anymore. I don't find them that good. It makes them a lot better. You can change all of the contrast. You can change exposure. You can do a lot of stuff now. So I don't know how many settings you can change.
So you can actually put a filter so it takes.
Yeah, it makes everyone look absolutely like Gina. Gorgeous.
Yeah. You need to download that app.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't do much for me, but what the heck? No, but that's a really.
He really looks like he's 89 for the app. So that's the miracle.
That's right, makeup.
Yeah, both of us. Look great because of it.
Hey, you saw how cute I can be with Gina Shriek, so let's not go there.
Don't keep bringing that up.
Well, Larry brings it up, and I think he's got the hots for Gina Shriek.
Yeah, Larry. The Shriek is going to come out. Dawn said there's another one called. I just saw it. You typed it again. Oh, Apps Gone Free. I'm guessing that's just the website, appsgonefree.com. Yeah, it's just funny. If you just browse that even every couple of weeks, you see some really good treasures in the bargain bin that are kind of fun. Although I do think I'm maxing out with 3 folders filled with photography apps.
Oh, I've got, I think, only one, but I've got a lot that aren't in that folder. And what can you only have, 20-something in a folder?
Yeah, it's terrible. Let's see. Mine is maxed out.
Yeah, if I have any complaint about the
not that many.
Whatchamacallit? Of the iOS structure is the way files are moved around. It's really hard to move things around. I wish
you could click on one and then say move to.
I know, that'd be great. Just move to a specific folder. That would be a useful feature.
Even to another page.
Well, you know what I do? I move it down to the dock, and then switch to the page, and then drag it back up to where I want. It's a little tedious, but it's faster than dragging across 4 or 5 pages where things don't quite work the way you want.
That's actually a smart one. Okay, so wait, Dawn is correcting me. It's not appsgonefree.com. It is an app on the iPad. So does it notify you of discount apps? This app lets you know of other apps?
It may. They probably look at the store. And also, if you keep, especially on games, when games first come out, a lot of times they're free for a couple of days or week or whatever.
Then they start charging.
Then they start charging. But not a bad way to go.
Yeah. But I'm always looking for those, especially if you just want to try them out. And then you don't like them, you delete them, clean them up. So we are, again, trying to use, and maybe you guys, the brilliant chat room, and Rick, I'll include you in that as well, the brilliant chat room, and Rick. When you're going overseas, when you're going to another country, and you've got your smartphones, we called Verizon, and we wanted to make sure that we're set up with global services so that you can use your smartphones without having a $200 phone bill.
Right.
Did you have to get a special SIM card? Or do you just not use your phone?
Honestly, I haven't been overseas with my phone in years. Short of going to Hawaii or Canada, and Canada wasn't an issue,
Right.
I went to Mexico. Again, wasn't really much of an issue. I had to turn on some sort of international, no SIM card change, just international dialing.
Okay.
And other than that, and it was expensive. I didn't realize. I went to Mexico, and my wife and I were talking once. I think we talked like 40 minutes. It was like $130.
Yeah.
I went, ooh.
Well, we got a phone. We got the bill, and we had set Taylor up before she went to Africa. We set her up with this global thing for her phone, and they told us all. They did say in South Africa, depending on which country she was in, they can't predict what the rates are. So for her not to use the phone, she can use data. We had a special data plan for $25, but not to use the phone features in South Africa. But I want to say in Johannesburg, they said she was fine there. But anyway, we get home, there's a $200 phone bill.
Wow.
For 24 minutes.
I tell you, the best thing to do is Skype. If you're going to do that kind of stuff, Skype works really well, and it's fairly free. Yeah,
you just need to have your data set up. So that's always the key. And there's an app we've talked about here called Viber, Viber. Viber is free texting because it's just using Wi-Fi.
Right.
So you have to first be on a Wi-Fi, and then Viber will send a text to another phone, or you can do voice calls to another, I want to say it's another Apple device, but it might be any smartphone. You can actually make a voice call. So it's like Skype. But the only difference was Skype, Skype, I can only Skype somebody if they also have Skype.
Right.
Viber, I can call their phone number.
Well, Skype, you can call a phone number.
That's true. Skype, you call their phone number.
Yeah.
There's a feature on there that.
However, you do have to have a balance on Skype if you do want to call phone numbers. So you have to buy a certain amount of time ahead of time. If you are overseas, you are going to get hit by overseas international rates. So they have a plan for $13 a month that allows literally almost unlimited overseas calls to 44 countries. It's a great plan. I've got some relatives overseas, and with that, it costs literally nothing to talk with people. So Gina, next week you are gone. You're going to be in Spain, right?
Next week I'm going to be in London. I'm speaking at a conference Tuesday and Wednesday.
Because right now our show is dark next week, so we're not going to be on next week, but we will be on the week after.
Right. I come back Monday, like the 24th or something.
And Gina may actually get some sleep on vacation. Don't count on it.
I doubt it. I've got work to do.
You've got work to do.
There are things to do, people. Yeah. I'm going to take a Pazziz. Remember, that's my favorite power napping app. Yep. Pazziz, P-Z-Z-I-Z.
Yeah, I like it, but it messes with me, so I don't use it anymore.
Love it. 20-minute power nap. Bam!
That's good.
Actually, what you do is you drink a cup of coffee first. Then you take a nap, because by the time the caffeine kicks in, after the 20 minutes, you're like, woo! You feel great. That's my little power nap tip.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for being there, and we will see you next week. Actually, in 2 weeks on SchreckTeck. Hey, Gina, have a great trip. Enjoy yourself.
I'll take lots of pictures.
Take care.
Use Caption Plus.
You should. Good night, everyone. Good day.
Good day.